Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diverse Goddess. It's Hannah, and in today's video we are going to be continuing the astrology series, but we will be diving into the last sign, which is the Pisces personality. So if you were born between February 19th and March 20th, then you were born under the sign of Pisces. So Pisces is a feminine mutable water sign, and their ruling planet is Neptune, and they are represented by the two fish. So Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac, and this sign is an absorbent sign. So since they are the last sign in the zodiac, they tend to absorb all the other signs that came before it. They are also represented by the two fish because the word Pisces actually comes from the Latin word that means fish. So they are the two fish swimming in two different directions, representing the two forces of life, the yin and the yang. And when they come together, they make a complete circle. And that circle is about infinity. So they live and swim into infinity. And not just in the physical sense, but also in the spiritual and metaphysical sense. And the circle that they make when they come together is actually about creation. It is the opening in which all life is born. It is also the space in which all life will return to when we die. And even though Pisces symbol is not the Vesica Pisces symbol, I do feel that they have the same energy tied to them. Actually, I know they have the same energy tied to them. And the reason why I say this, or I say that they have the same energy as Vesica Pisces, is because Vesica Pisces is the symbol of the divine mother, or the divine feminine. It is also about creation in the infinite. And it's about two wholes coming together in divine union to create new life. Vesica Pisces is a gateway energy, or the vortex between the two worlds, which is heaven and earth. It is an energy field in which all things must pass through, and it sustains all things in creation. And the reason why I mention the symbol of Vesica Pisces is because it too is about bringing two forces or two wholes together in divine union. And at the center of Vesica Pisces, which is really the vortex of energy in which anything can be created, it actually creates the symbol of the fish, and where I actually believe the symbol of the fish came from. And to be completely honest and blunt, is also the symbol of the vagina, hence the divine mother. It is the space in which anything in all life is born. So in Rio, you have two Vesica Pisces fish that is about creation and the sustaining of life. And then those two forces come together to create the infinite. And so Pisces is actually born out of the energy of Vesica Pisces, which is why I mentioned it in order to understand Pisces energy. The only difference is that Vesica Pisces energy will never become separated. It will always be able to sustain itself, and will actually keep creating itself over and over and over again. And that is actually where we get the flower of life. And this video is not about the flower of life, but that is where it comes from. But Pisces, on the other hand, the two fish and its symbol, its energy can become separated. So Pisces really is a sign about life, death, rebirth, reincarnation, and it is about the infinite and eternity. And it is the sign that bridges the spiritual world with the physical world. So because Pisces carries the energy of creation, they actually have the ability to be anything and the potential to become anything. That includes the good, the bad, and the ugly. And they are a water sign, so they will be highly sensitive. And out of all the water signs, they are also the most reflective, oftentimes reflecting whoever is around them. And so they have to be careful of who they surround themselves with. So Pisces is the sign that reflects back to humanity. So they can reflect back the uber spiritual or the lack of spirituality here on earth. Because like I said, Pisces is the two fish swimming in two different directions, and the intention is to have them come together in divine union. But sometimes that doesn't always happen. And that happens because a lot of time the world that we live in is not made for Pisces people. And so those two fish will actually swim apart and they will become separated. And so the gap between the physical and the spiritual world will become greater. And when that gap happens, Pisces can actually disappear into an illusionary world as a coping mechanism. And their ruling planet Neptune, which is a planet of oneness and imagination, if Pisces do not feel at one within themselves, or the energy of the two fish do not come together as one, their imagination, or the energy of imagination, will turn into illusion. So Pisces could also be seen the sign of illusion. But because they are a water sign and they are highly sensitive and the most absorbent sign, they will tend to absorb the pain and the suffering of everyone around them, or even the pain and the suffering that they've directly endured. And so in that case, they will often feel like a fish out of water. And if you ever see a fish out of water, it flops around and is completely miserable because it is disconnected from its home, because its real home is in the water, in the womb of the earth. And when this disconnection happens for a Pisces, because that pain is too deep, they can actually disassociate from reality altogether and escape into drugs or even alcohol and even become manipulative. Because this sign is also a highly intuitive sign, but because they are such an absorbent sign, again absorbing all the energy of the people around them and reflecting it back, they can actually become manipulative because of this and use their intuition to use the same weapons against people. And they may even wear a mask that is reflective of the world around them. And they wear this mask to protect their pure natures that lie underneath. Because like I said, Pisces is a sign of creation. So in a lot of ways, they are being created by the world around them. If, however, Pisces was lucky enough to be born in a life where they were supported, cared for, and loved, or if they can heal themselves and bring the two forces or the two energies of their personality, which is the two fish, together, they will actually bring heaven to earth, and they will be a reflection of the divine. So that is actually Pisces' purpose here on earth, is that they carry with them the energy that bridges the physical world with the metaphysical world. And so they are here to bring heaven on earth. So what does that mean? That does not mean that they're here to bring the physical into the spiritual. It means that they're here to bring down the spiritual and the medical physical into this world. And like the fish out of water analogy, Pisces' real home is in the spiritual or in the metaphysical world. That's why so many of them here don't feel like they fit. And that's why I say the world is not made for them. Because we were supposed to create a more spiritual world. And the energy that Pisces carry was supposed to be a reflection of that. But because the world has become extremely harsh, and a lot of the underworld or the darker forces, if you will, have become more dominant, a lot of Pisces feel thrown out of the water, hence the separation of the fish. And so a lot of Pisces tend to go through life just going with the flow and hiding their true natures. And some might even reject the spiritual world altogether and think that it's dumb because the world has rejected it. And this sign, out of all the water signs, has very little built-in protection for them. Because unlike Cancer that can kind of hide in their shell, or Scorpios that can kind of sting the shit out of everybody, Pisces' only means of protection is to escape reality through the mind, or like a fish, just swim away. And when they are swimming away, they don't always necessarily know where they're swimming to. So some Pisces may feel extremely lost and a feeling of like, where is my home? Because they don't see it in the outside world around them, or they don't see it reflected around them. Because like I said, their real home is in the divine. And these folks don't usually tend to have a very loud personality, so they will be highly creative and have a very gifted imagination, oftentimes showing what they hold inside through creative outlets because it's safer for them. And when they are in relationships or in love, Pisces are looking for a divine kind of love, one that is pure and feels infinite. And they're hoping to feel at home with somebody, but not a home like you live in, but a spiritual home. Pisces is also the sign that believes, and they need something to believe in, and they do. They believe in the goodness of mankind. They believe in their dreams. But what they want to believe in the most is that they want to believe that one day the world will be made for them, that the separation between the spiritual world and the physical world will be gone. So even if they're living in this world or in the other world, they will always feel at home. Pisces' greatest lesson or their greatest challenge is to not allow the outside world to create them from the outside in, but to tap into their inner energies and create from the inside out, and to bring the metaphysical world and the spiritual world out into the open for the rest of us to see. Pisces really are here to show and reflect the good, the bad, and the ugly of humanity, and to show us that the two worlds, the physical and the spiritual world, need to be brought back together and not be separated. So that wraps up just some of the characteristics that make up a Pisces personality. And that also wraps up my astrology series for now. And so on that note, I'm going to end today's video, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. And you can also find me on Instagram at Hannah Rotes, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!